In this video, I'm going to show you how to add bleed in Photoshop the right way so your print files come out clean, professional, and ready for the press. If you've ever had white edges show up after trimming, bleed is the fix that prevents that problem. It gives your design a little extra artwork past the cut line, so even if the paper shifts slightly during printing, your background still reaches the edge. If this tutorial helps, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more easy Photoshop tutorials. Alright, let's jump in. First, let's understand what bleed actually is. If you're designing something like a flyer, poster, or brochure, the final trim size is the exact size your finished print should be. But when a printer cuts the paper, there can be tiny movement. That's why you add extra space around the outside of your document. In most cases, standard bleed is 0.125 inches on each edge. That means you add 0.25 inches total to your width and height. So if your final flyer size is 8.5 by 11 inches, your Photoshop document should actually be 8.75 by 11.25 inches. That extra space is your bleed area. It sounds small, but it makes a huge difference in print quality. Now let's set it up in Photoshop step by step. Open Photoshop and click New File. This will bring up the new document window. Here, change the units to inches so everything is easy to measure. In the width field, type 8.75. In the height field, type 11.25. Then set the resolution to 300 pixels per inch because that's the standard for high quality printing. After that, make sure the color mode is set to CMYK color since that's the best format for most print work. Once everything is entered correctly, click Create. Now you have the correct canvas size with bleed built in, but you still need to mark where the final trim line will be. That way, you know exactly where your safe area starts and where the printer will cut. To do that, go to the top menu and click View, then Guides, then New Guide Layout. If you see columns or rows checked and you don't need them, uncheck those options. What you want here is the margin setup. Turn on the margin box and then enter 0.125 inches for the top, left, bottom, and right margins. This creates a guideline exactly where your actual trim size begins. Click OK, and now you'll see your guide layout on the canvas. At this point, your document is ready for design. Here's how to think about the layout. The outer edge of the canvas is your bleed zone. Any background color, image, texture, or pattern should extend all the way to that edge. Never leave this area blank if you want the design to print edge to edge. The guidelines show your trim line, which is the exact place the paper will be cut. And inside those guides is your safe zone, where you should keep important text, logos, and critical visual elements. That safe zone matters a lot. Even though the trim is usually accurate, printers can shift slightly, and if your text is too close to the edge, it could get clipped. A good rule is to keep your essential content at least another 0.125 inches inside the trim guides. That gives you an extra buffer and helps your design stay protected. When you build your flyer, poster, or any print layout, make sure your background layers stretch past the guides and all the way to the document edges. But your headline, contact details, logo, and any important information should stay comfortably inside the safe area. That simple habit makes your files look much more professional and print ready. If you want to check your setup one more time, zoom in and inspect the edges. Make sure the artwork reaches beyond the trim line on all sides, and make sure nothing important is sitting too close to the edge. This is the kind of detail that separates a basic design from a properly prepared print file. So let's recap quickly. Open a new Photoshop file. Set the size to 8.75 by 11.25 inches for an 8.5 by 11 flyer with bleed. Use 300 dpi and CMYK color mode, then add guide margins at 0.125 inches on every side. Extend your backgrounds to the full canvas edge and keep your important content safely inside the guide area. That's it. Now your Photoshop file is set up correctly for print bleed. If this video helped you, please give it a like and subscribe for more Photoshop tips, print design tutorials, and beginner-friendly how-to videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.